Good morning and welcome to the Senate Committee on Commerce and Labor for the 81st legislative session. Before we begin, please be sure to mute your microphone when you are not speaking to minimize the background noise. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Senator Hardy. Senator Lang.
Here.
Senator Neal.
Here.
Senator Pickard.
Here.
Senator Scheibel.
Here.
Senator Settlemeyer. Chair Spearman.
Here. Please mark Senator Hardy present once he arrives. Thank you. Welcome to our audience joining us remotely and anyone listening over the internet. Today, we have a hearing on Senate Bill 141. I would like to take a moment to go over some basic housekeeping items. As you know, the legislative building is currently closed as a public safety measure to reduce the spread and infection rate of COVID-19 to the public. And so, all committee meetings will be held virtually, meaning committee members, staff, and everyone else will participate through either Zoom, video conference, or by telephone. However, there are various ways members of the public can engage with us and participate throughout the process. These include registering to participate through Nellis, where you have the opportunity to testify on a bill or provide public comment during the meeting, submitting a written comment to the committee email address or fax number listed on the agenda, sharing your opinion via the legislature's opinion application on Nellis, or viewing committee meetings online through Nellis on the legislature's YouTube channel. To register on Nellis, please simply click the Participate button near the committee meeting, date, and time, then fill in the required information such as your name, the agenda item you're interested in, and your position on the bill. Once your registration is submitted, you will see a confirmation screen and you will also receive an email with a phone number and meeting ID to call at the time of the meeting. Just a note that while meeting registration is required to participate, it does not guarantee you will be able to speak. Similar to previous sessions, comment and public comment may be limited due to time constraints. And I will announce the time frame, it's how many minutes, for each response, for, against, and neutral. It will be helpful if more than one person in your organization wishes to comment to remember ditto is a good response when someone has already covered your points. This will allow more people to comment during the time frame. When you're on the telephone, please pay attention to which bill is being considered and follow the verbal prompts provided by the BPS staff so that you know which keys to press to raise your hand or unmute yourself. Staff will call on you to speak by the last 3 digits of your phone number. Detailed instructions for participating in committee meetings are also available on the help page, which is linked on the banner at the top of every page on Nellis. If you need assistance with any of these processes, or if you would like to receive electronic notification of the committee's agendas and minutes, please contact our committee staff at the email listed on the agenda. Any exhibits for the committee must be submitted in electronic format no later than 8 a.m. the day before the meeting. They must be submitted to our committee staff. Contact information may be found on the committee page on Nellis. In addition, any person proposing an amendment to a bill being heard must first talk to the sponsor and let them know that you intend to submit an amendment. I will not entertain any amendments if the bill sponsor is not aware of that amendment. The proposed amendment must be submitted in writing 24 hours prior to the meeting. Please include the bill number, a statement of intent, and your contact information. When testifying, please remember to unmute your microphone and clearly state your name and the entity you represent at the beginning of your testimony. Speak clearly and project your voice to ensure those watching remotely can hear your testimony. Please remember to turn the microphone off when you finish speaking. A reminder to all those who testify pursuant to Nevada Revised Statute 218E.8085, it is unlawful for a person to knowingly misrepresent facts when testifying before a legislative committee. A person who knowingly does so is guilty of a misdemeanor. The chair and members may request any testifier to submit documentation supporting their testimony. To committee members, during these virtual meetings, when an agenda item calls for a vote, our committee will be using roll call to do so. When the committee secretary calls your name, please answer with a yes or no, so there is no confusion. Also, if you have a question, please raise your hand through the Zoom application. And finally, all exhibits received prior to this meeting will be available on Nellis online. And so this morning we will be hearing Senate Bill 141, Senator Brooks. So I'll open up this hearing and please begin when you are ready.
Good morning. Thank you, Chair Spearman and members of the Commerce and Labor Committee. I'm Senator Chris Brooks from Senate District 3 in Clark County, and today I'm here to present Senate Bill 141. Senate Bill 141 will remove the statutory expiration and allow for the continued use of the Construction Manager at Risk, or CMAR, by our state's public entities. This is an important bill because CMAR has proved to be a valuable construction method, allowing public entities to control costs and budgets on some of our unique and complex public projects. Recent CMAR projects include the Las Vegas Convention Center expansion, the National Guard Speedway Readiness Center, and the Pennington Engineering Building at UNR. Upcoming projects include the UNLV Engineering Building, the Clark County Water Reclamation District Flamingo Water Resource Center, and the Grant Sawyer Office Building remodel, just to name a few. CMAR allows the builder to collaborate with the designer and public agency early in the project design state to help avoid costly missteps and unforeseen design challenges. The process also requires the builder to agree to construct the project for a guaranteed maximum price, or GMP, lessening the risk of cost overruns. CMAR is just one tool available to the public entities to deliver construction projects. When we invest in public infrastructure, it is critical that we apply the best, most efficient, and effective method of delivering the project. By allowing project entities the ability to continue to use CMAR, in addition to our other delivery methods, we are giving them the tools they need to plan, design, and build projects as efficiently as possible. If it pleases the committee, I would like to hand it off to Brian Reeder from Ferrari Public Affairs to further explain the importance and answer any questions.
Thank you, Senator Brooks. Chair Spearman, if I may begin, good morning to you and committee members. I'm Brian Reeder, that's B-R-I-A-N-R-E-E-D-E-R, with Ferrari Public Affairs, speaking on behalf of the Nevada Contractors Association in support of Senate Bill 141. Also available for any questions today is Sean Stewart, CEO of NCA. NCA represents general and subcontractors and businesses affiliated with the commercial construction industry, primarily throughout Southern Nevada. And as most of you are aware, over the course of the pandemic, the construction industry became one of our state's #1 employers, keeping Nevadans working safely. Senator Brooks outlined CMAR thoroughly. Public agencies have found the CMAR construction project delivery method valuable, and this bill simply extends their ability to use it. There's a long list of CMAR users, and this is demonstrated by the exhibit titled NCA Letter to Governor Sisolak, which was submitted to Nellis for the committee's reference. As you can see, the entities listed include cities, counties, school districts, higher education, our transportation departments, and many others. Just a quick history on CMAR. The process was authorized in Nevada in 2007. And since that time, NCA and the contractor community have worked with stakeholders, including public agencies and labor, and have come back to the legislature to work to amend the law on multiple occasions. During the last interim, the most recent interim, NCA once again worked with stakeholders to discuss the future of CMAR, and the group reached unanimous agreement that the delivery method is a valuable tool for Nevada, for our public infrastructure, and we should seek legislation to remove the sunset. There is an amendment that was submitted to Nellis. It was requested on behalf of, or requested by former Assemblyman Skip Daly. The amendment simply makes a clarification regarding the definitions of horizontal and vertical construction. And the Nevada Contractors Association views this as a friendly amendment, just for the committee's information. We thank the bill sponsor and the committee for hearing the bill, and we ask for your support.
Senator Brooks, you have any other presenters?
Chair Spearman, no, that is, I stand ready to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you so much. And Senator Pickard, I see your hand. Please proceed.
That should be no surprise. Thank you, Chair. I am in full support of this idea. I mean, I've done CMAR projects when I was contracting. They certainly stand to save the state money if we use them properly. The question I have, though, comes as to the amendment, because we're deleting the in the body of the bill, we're deleting the definitions of horizontal construction, vertical construction, and the amendment amends those. So I'm not sure what we're doing. Are we deleting it or are we keeping it? The explanation that was given to me when this first came up was that we don't need these definitions because we're no longer worried about the connection to the CMAR projects where they required these definitions. They no longer require them. So can you explain what's going on with the amendment and why we need it?
Absolutely. Through you, Chair Spearman, to Senator Pickard.
Let's go direct. Go direct.
Thank you, Chair. It's knew this would be a question, and it's complicated, and I've had to ask the explanation several times. So bear with me as I read you a explanation from LCB on exactly why we do it this way. Most of the construction manager at risk provisions that are in NRS 338-1685 through NRS 338-16995 were enacted in 2007. 2013, the legislature enacted AB 283, in which section 14.7 repealed the CMAR provisions effective July 1st, 2017. The expiration of the CMAR statute was later extended to July 1st, 2021 in Senate Bill 246 from the 2017 legislative session. AB 283 from 2013 also amended various sections of NRS as technical changes to remove references to CMAR provisions since the CMAR provisions were expiring on July 1st, 2017. These sections were 2.3, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, 5.3, 5.5, 5.7, 6.5, 13.5, and 14.1. SB 41 repeals these sections since the CMAR provisions are no longer expiring and those references to CMAR need to remain in NRS. For example, Section 2 of AB 283 from the 2013 legislative session added the definitions of horizontal and vertical construction. Section 2.3 was included in the bill to remove those definitions on July 1st, 2017. Now, 2021, because it was extended, expiration date of CMAR. Because Senate Bill 141 is removing the expiration of the CMAR provisions, those definitions need to be retained. So Section 2.3, which shows those definitions being deleted, has been repealed. Note that all of the sections in the repealer are cited to in the statutes of Nevada instead of NRS because those sections were not supposed to become effective until July 1st, 2021. I hope that thoroughly answers your question.
It does, and I appreciate that. I'm glad that you saw that coming and got that response. So, Madam Chair, if I can follow up on the definitions, thank you. On the definitions, this is unusual that we would consider any alteration, repair, remodel, demolition, as potentially, as I read this, those become independent works. And so are we to assume then that these have to do strictly with ongoing projects and whatever modifications may be made, because a lot of times these are used for fast track projects, or like the convention center where the design is not completely finished, but we needed to get underway. So the alteration, repair, renovation, remodel, demolition could be changes to the plan as it goes. Or does this intend to include, if they were to come back, say, in 5 years and want to do some remodeling at the convention center, this would then fall back to the original contractor? Would this have to go under a new contract? Would that also be CMAR? It's how does this now operate under this provision?
And Senator Pickard, I'm assuming you're speaking to the proposed conceptual amendment.
I'm sorry, yes, that's correct.
And so the proposed conceptual amendment would not change in any way, shape, or form how existing CMAR structures are being used or how future CMAR structures are being used. The proposed amendment just, I think, clarifies the definitions of horizontal and vertical construction, doesn't necessarily change. There was just basically, when the added language and the deleted language doesn't change the intent of any of the projects that would be covered. It just further defines which actual activities on a construction site would be covered under that.
All right, I appreciate that. And my main concern is this, that it's amending 338, which was not actually part of the bill. Or that is to say, we were the strikeout, the deleted language was actually coming out of, I want to say 624. No, I'm sorry, it was 338. I was mistaken on that. So anyway, it just, I wanted to make sure that we got our arms around what we were amending and what we weren't. So no, I'm in complete support of the bill. Thank you.
Thank you. I see Senator Settlemyre and then Vice Chair Neal.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I greatly appreciate the opportunity. My previous colleague covered some of the questions I have. Listen, I fully support the bill. I'd pass it right now, and I think we should pass it right now and without the amendment and pass it off the floor tomorrow and get it done. The amendment bothers me because, number one, I'm just seeing it. But also on 13 to 24, the definition between horizontal and vertical, the words are so much different. On 13, it's without limitation, whereas on 24, that's not included. So why would the difference in term, why is there a necessary change between horizontal and vertical when in 13 you're allowing to do it without limitation, where in 24 you're not? Why is that?
Thank you for the question, Senator Settlemyre. So in 24, without limitation is already part of the existing language. And then in 13, the proposed amendment adds without limitation to the definition as well, so that there is some parity between the definitions between both of those different types of construction projects.
Appreciate the answers, Senator Brooks, greatly. I'm still concerned with the amendment. I like the bill as it was. Thank you.
Thank you. Vice Chair Neal.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So I guess I think I missed this. So I have two questions. Number one, can you put on the record why this went through a series of expirations and why this has been hotly contested? Because it's never made its way into permanency, right? And I don't think I heard that legislative quick history on why these multiple expiration dates have been in play. And then I have a second question.
Senator Neal, I will try to answer that. I think we actually have some committee members that might be able to provide some context to that as well. But when this was first put into place, it was the first time this particular contract delivery method was used in the state of Nevada on public projects. This is the contract delivery method of choice for many, many private projects, just that goes back many, many years. But this was the first time it was put in place back in 2007. And I think there was the desire to see if it was successful or not, and therefore a sunset. And it proved to be incredibly successful. And then I think that for a host of reasons, some folks wanted to see that expiration, instead of going completely away, to be extended, and to see if some of these projects are many years in duration. And I think they just wanted to see a history of success. And so, and then in 2017, there was, I think that there was the desire to try to insert a bunch of other things into this statute, and that's why the expiration did not go away. But that was, I think, just basically a legislative logistics and tactics issue more than it was a policy issue. And so now we've got this long history of successful delivery of projects to public entities across the state, and the desire is to now just remove the sunset, and so that we can continue to have some clarity moving forward about how we can use this delivery method.
Thank you for that. Madam Chair, second question. So this is different, but I want to ask this question on the record. So I get CMAR in the 11 years that I've been in the freaking building. But CMAR is sometimes inconsistent with federal procurement procedures. So let's say someone gets a federal grant, sometimes it's inconsistent. So how has this been handled in prior situations? Because it's been around, but it's always had an expiration date. And now that it's being permanent, how will this inconsistency around federal guidelines that may not say, may not want CMAR, but yet it's the state who has it, right? The state is completely allowed to have it. I understand that. But there are some inconsistencies when you get into federal procurement.
Senator Neal, that's a great question, and that's why this is one of many contract delivery methods that we have had in statute and that we will continue to have in statute. So, for instance, this does not change in any way the design bid build process. This doesn't change the design build process, and this is just one of several different contract delivery mechanisms that are available to agencies. There are some projects that this is just not the appropriate. You've identified some that have federal guidelines attached to them. There are some that they're just too small, or the parameters are very clearly defined where CMAR is not necessary or even appropriate. And we still have those other delivery methods that are untouched by this bill.
Thank you for that. Just wanted to put a little bit of history back into the record. Jesus.
Thank you. And Senator Brooks, thank you for that, because my explanation was going to be a little bit more pedestrian. I think it was my first session. We were, I want to say that it came through government affairs, but we were probably there for about 4 hours. Most people had no idea what it was. And some people in 13 who were against it came back either as a legislator or in civilian life and were for it. So it's kind of been that way. So let me ask this. This is a follow-up to Vice Chair Neal's question. You named several projects where the CMAR was used. I'm interested in why it was used for the National Guard Readiness Center. Why was that a better method than design build?
Chair Spearman, I cannot answer that question, and I'm hoping that Mr. Reeder can.
Thanks, Senator Brooks. Chair Spearman, honestly, I'm not sure I can answer directly that question. I don't know if there's someone from State Public Works or from the Guard available to discuss that. I don't have the specifics on why CMR was chosen over a design build. They both have their benefits, and it's really, in the end, it's up to the public agency to decide what's going to work for their project.
So this wasn't a, let's stump the presenter. I just felt like if we could give a reason for a project that was used and show the differentiation between that method and others, it might clarify when it's selected, when you use this method and when you don't, or even when you might use it, but there's another method that's more convenient. So if there's anyone that's on the line or is listening that can give us an answer, I certainly would appreciate it. Like I said, I think an example is a lot better than trying to explain it based upon statute.
Thank you, Chair Spearman. And I think we have Mr. Sean Stewart on the line on today too, and I think he might be able to provide some context here.
Mr. Stewart?
Yes, Chair Spearman, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for the question. I'm going to, again, for the record, Sean Stewart, Nevada Contractors Association, SEAN-STEWART. Also, I sit as vice chair of the state public works board. So I'm going to go back in time a little bit to this project. I do believe the reason that CMAR was chosen by the state public works board as the delivery method for this project had to do with the fact that we didn't have a complete design quite done with the National Guard. Additionally, if I remember right, that project had some challenging issues with relocation of some utilities and other infrastructure that needed to be done. So the CMAR method allowed the contractor that was chosen to work with the National Guard and with the State Public Works Board to find out the best ways to do those relocations and design so that the project ran smoother. So again, as has been said by my colleagues, it's not the only delivery method that can be used, but definitely in certain situations like the National Guard Center, working around the challenges of utilities and an unfinished design does lend itself to more of a CMAR project.
Okay, thank you. And I picked that particular project because Vice Chair Neal had indicated there were some inconsistencies with CMAR and federal law. So I think that satisfies my curiosity. Anyone else have questions related to that? Not just my question, anyone else have questions? And I don't see any hands. So what we will do now is we will go to those in support, and we will have 30 minutes of testimony in support, 3 minutes per person. And remember, if someone has already covered your points, just say ditto so we can get more people on the line, okay? Thank you. Broadcast, do your thing.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning. To testify in support of SB 141, please press star 9 now to take your place in the queue. Caller with the last 3 digits of 888, please slowly spell and state your name for the record. You have 2 minutes and may begin. Caller with the last 3 digits of 888. You have 2 minutes. Please slowly spell and state your name for the record. You may begin.
Good morning, Chair Spearman, Peter Kruger, PETERKRUEGER, representing the National Electrical Contractors Association of Northern Nevada, are in support of this bill because, as it's been stated, we believe this maintains 3 arrows in our quiver when it comes to public works projects. Electrical contractors have used this delivery method as a subcontractor on a number of projects and find it very beneficial. So we stand in support of both the bill as introduced and Senator Brooks' amendment. Thank you.
Caller with the last 3 digits of 666. Please slowly spell and state your name for the record. You have 2 minutes and may begin.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Warren Hardy, W-A-R-R-E-N, last name H-A-R-D-Y. Today, representing the Urban Consortium. Madam Chair, the Urban Consortium was restarted this session. I represent the cities of Las Vegas, Henderson, Reno, and Sparks in an effort to kind of streamline our participation in the legislative process and make life easier for the committees and the legislature as well as our staff. We're in support of this legislation. It is a valuable tool in the toolbox, and I think that's the way we like to describe it, as a tool in the toolbox. As it's been pointed out, there are so many other methods that this is a very valuable tool. I would also indicate to Senator Neal's question, I was actually chair of Senate Government Affairs when we first brought this forward, introduced the CMAR concept as a committee introduction. And the answer Senator Brooks gave was correct. There was a lot of, because this was the first time we really moved away from, one of the first times we really moved away from the concept of low bid. And so there was a lot of concern and caution about how this might actually be implemented. It has proven to be a very effective tool for local governments. And I would indicate that a lot of the concerns that we had about misuse of the bid system and those sorts of things have not come to fruition. So I think that was the reason we took the cautious and step in moving forward. And then again, as Senator Brooks pointed out, there were attempts to do other things in this legislation that the legislature ultimately decided not to pursue. So if I could, Madam Chair, I'd love to request that the LCB explanation that Senator Brooks articulated, if that could be provided as we look at the amendment. It made complete sense to me. I may have a difficult time explaining it to others, and I think that LCB description would be very helpful if we could maybe get that on Nellis. But the Urban Consortium is in full support of removing the sunset and allow CMAR to become a permanent tool in the toolbox. Thank you.
Thank you.
Caller with the last three digits of 803. Please slowly spell and state your name for the record. You have 2 minutes and may begin.
Good morning, Michael Hillerby, MichaelHillerby, representing the Regional Transportation Commission of Washoe County. I'll try to be quicker than my colleague, Mr. Hardy. We too support the bill for all the reasons that have been stated, and want to thank Senator Brooks for bringing it forward. Thank you very much.
Caller with the last three digits of 728. Please slowly spell and state your name for the record. You have 2 minutes and may begin.
Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the committee. For the record, this is Marla McDade Williams, MARLAMC, capital DADE, WILLIAMS, with Strategies 360, speaking today on behalf of Churchill County. The county wants to go on record in support of SB 41 and extend their appreciation to Senator Brooks and others who brought this bill forward. Thank you.
Caller with the last three digits of 124. Please slowly spell and state your name for the record. You have 2 minutes and may begin.
Good morning, Chair Spearman. Paul Moradkan, MORADKHAN, with the Vegas Chamber. The Chamber would first like to thank the bill sponsor for bringing the bill forward. The Chamber has supported CMAR efforts over the years. As you heard today, this will allow greater tools for local governments and allows for greater efficiency and cost savings that benefit Nevada's taxpayers. So thank you for this opportunity to support the bill today. Thank you.
Caller with the last three digits of 411. Please slowly spell and state your name for the record. You have 2 minutes and may begin.
Thank you, Madam Chair. For the record, this is Lindsay Anderson, LINDSAYANDERSON, on behalf of the Washoe County School District. We are in strong support of SB 141 and thank Senator Brooks for bringing it forward. Fortunately, Washoe County School District has engaged in one of the largest construction programs beginning in 2017, building 3 new middle schools, a new high school, and several new elementary schools, along with some major renovations, expansions, and remodels of our existing schools. CMAR has been an important part of using our taxpayer dollars in the most efficient way for our new school prototype designs, complicated remodels during the school year, and other central services projects like our food production facility that require special considerations. We continue to use design, build, and other project delivery methods when it makes sense, but CMAR is an important option for us as we continue our substantial school construction projects. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Caller with the last three digits of 520. Please slowly spell and state your name for the record. You have 2 minutes and may begin.
Chair Spearman, members of the committee, Anthony Ruiz, ANTHONY-RUIZ, representing Nevada State College. Nevada State College is in full support of Senate Bill 141 as amended. The college supports having CMAR as a viable contracting option for construction, as well as the removal of the sunset provision. And we appreciate Senator Brooks for bringing this forward. Thank you.
Caller with the last three digits of 880. Please slowly spell and state your name for the record. You have 2 minutes and may begin.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the committee. This is Darren Schultz. I'm the Public Works Director of Carson City. I'm calling to support this Bill 141, and for the reasons mentioned, I did want to go on the record and talk about a couple of things that were brought up that we had personal experiences with here in Carson City. We have a project underway right now that is half of the funding is coming from the federal grants. We are doing this project with the CMAR delivery method. And although we had some challenges working with the feds through it, we were able to do it. We got approval from them to use this delivery method. And there's been quite a bit of hand-holding and discussions about processes and how we make it work. But we're having success with that, and they are in support of us using this method. So we are working through it, and I just wanted to put that on the record as there was earlier comments on that. And then just in terms of choosing CMAR, it's nice to have that option. We don't choose it on all projects. It mainly, just to go on the record, it's used for projects here in Carson City where it's important to get the contractor involved early with complicated designs, typically with projects where it's going to have a big impact to public during construction. We like to have that contractor on board early so we can talk about those things. Water treatment facilities where they have to remain active during construction. It's nice to have the contractor at the table so we can talk through that. So that's one of the reasons, or a couple of the reasons, we use the CMAR delivery method here in Carson City. We are in support of this bill. Thank you very much.
Caller with the last three digits of 413. Please slowly spell and state your name for the record. You have 2 minutes and may begin.
Good morning, Chair Spearman, members of the committee. My name is Denise Baklowski, DENISE-BACLAWSKI. I'm the Associate Vice President for Facilities at the University of Nevada, Reno, speaking in favor of SB 141. Senator Brooks, thank you for bringing this forward to permanently authorize the construction manager at risk construction delivery method. The University of Nevada, Reno has used CMAR on 14 projects over the last 10 years. We find this methodology affords us the ability to choose the most qualified contractor for the projects at hand. This is especially appropriate in projects that are specialized, complex, or would otherwise benefit from construction expertise during design. For example, the reconstruction of Argento Hall currently underway on our campus. The constructability reviews, evaluation of alternative methods and materials, identification of potential conflicts, and the superior estimating ability of the contractor partner are particularly beneficial to a superior design. We also experience a lower level of change orders during construction. This is due to the guaranteed maximum price the contractor provides to construct the project, a unique feature of the CMAR, which provides cost transparency throughout the process and essentially transfers the risk of cost overruns during construction from the owner to the contractor. It is for all these reasons the University of Nevada, Reno is in full support of SB 141. Thank you.
Caller with the last three digits of 788. Please slowly spell and state your name for the record. You have 2 minutes and may begin.
Good morning, Chair Spearman. My name is Chris Koenig, CHRISKOENIG, and I'm with Kiewit Infrastructure West Company. Kiewit has been designing and building important infrastructure projects in Nevada for over 50 years. We served as the construction manager at risk, or CMAR, on phase 1 of the Southeast Connector, later named Veterans Parkway in Washoe County. On that project, there were several physical and logistical challenges that the CMAR process allowed the project to be a tremendous success. Through the collaborative CMAR process, we were able to provide engineering solutions to mitigate risk and drive value that resulted in a $7 million savings and completion of the project 3 months early. CMAR is a great procurement option for public entities and the industry in general. I ask that the committee approve SB 141. Thank you for your time.
Caller with the last 3 digits of 873. Please slowly spell and state your name for the record. You have 2 minutes and may begin.
Good morning, Chair Spearman and members of the committee. My name is David Fromer, D-A-V-I-D, F-R-O-M-M-E-R. I represent UNLV, and I am the Associate Vice President of Planning, Construction, and Real Estate. I'm here to speak in support of SB 141. Having CMAR available as a construction delivery method is important to UNLV. UNLV regularly uses all 3 major construction delivery methods available to us, including design, bid, build, and CMAR. CMAR is very helpful to have available where construction project circumstances warrant its use. Some examples of that include projects where having the CMAR on the project team during planning and design is helpful for planning and managing the impacts of the construction, including items that are technical in nature, budget-related, schedule, risk management, and other items. Projects where significant or unique site or existing building conditions exist that need to be incorporated into the construction planning and delivery. Projects where construction process planning and coordination are particularly important related to existing ongoing activities where construction is occurring in operating facilities or project phasing. UNLV has successfully used CMAR in many projects since it's been available, including projects such as our Thomas and Mack Center renovation and expansion, the conversion of a portion of our campus electrical system from 4 kV to 12 kV, renovation of a portion of the operating Rogers Center for Literature and Law building, vertical expansion of the existing Cottage Grove parking garage, and several other projects. All of these projects benefited significantly in having CMAR available for use due to specific project conditions where CMAR offered unique benefits to support the project planning, design, construction, and delivery, be it pre-construction planning, project phasing, construction being undertaken in portions of occupied and operating facilities, or other items. UNLV is thankful to Senator Brooks for sponsoring SB 141 and thankful to the committee for hearing SB 141. Thank you.
Caller with the last 3 digits of 069. Please slowly spell and state your name for the record. You have 2 minutes and may begin.
Good morning, Chair Spearman and members of the committee. Kanani Espinoza, K-A-N-A-N-I-E-S-P-I-N-O-Z-A, with the Rowe Law Group representing the American Council of Engineering Companies of Nevada, or commonly known as ACEC Nevada. ACEC represents our state's design and engineering community, which stands in support of Senate Bill 141. We would also like to thank Senator Brooks for bringing this legislation forward. Thank you.
Caller with the last 3 digits of 692. Please slowly spell and state your name for the record. You have 2 minutes and may begin. Caller with the last 3 digits of 692. Please press *6 now to unmute yourself. You have 2 minutes. Please slowly spell. Thank you. Please begin.
This is Don Campbell with the National Electrical Contractors Association, DONCAMPBELL. We stand in support of SB 141 and of everything that has been said before. We acknowledge. I had notes written down like arrow and quiver, tool in the toolbox. It is something that I believe that has worked, and NECA stands in support of the bill. I think what you have to look at is the name construction manager risk kind of says it all. It provides for more coordination. It's worked. I think the experiment is over, and it's time that we put in perpetuity the ability for public agencies to use CMAR as a delivery method. Thank you.
Caller with the last three digits of 109. Please slowly spell and state your name for the record. You have 2 minutes and may begin.
Good morning, Chair Spearman and members of the committee. For the record, Justin Harrison, Justin Harrison, representing Clark County. Would like to thank Senator Brooks for bringing forward SB 141. Clark County has used CMAR as an effective project delivery method, specifically within our Department of Aviation, as a method of construction for critical projects that impact airport operations, and look forward with the passage of this bill to continuing having that project delivery method as an option. Thank you.
Caller with the last three digits of 469. Please slowly spell and state your name for the record. You have 2 minutes and may begin. Caller with the last three digits of 469. Please slowly spell and state your name for the record. You have 2 minutes and may begin. Caller with the last three digits of 948. Please slowly spell and state your name for the record. You have 2 minutes and may begin. Caller with the last three digits of 948. We can see you're unmuted. Please slowly spell and state your name for the record. Caller with the last three digits of 323. Please slowly spell and state your name for the record. You have 2 minutes and may begin.
Yes, for the record, my name is Steve Walker. Thank you for allowing me to testify, Madam Chair. I'm going to take your recommendation. I represent Carson City, Lyon County, Douglas County, Story County. Steve Walker, Stevewalker, and per your recommendation, ditto.
Mr. Walker, there's chocolate for you when the building opens up again.
Caller with the last three digits of 692. Please slowly spell and state your name for the record. You have 2 minutes and may begin.
Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the committee. For the record, my name is Mary Przinski, MaryPierczynski, representing the Nevada Association of School Superintendents, and many of the school districts around the state have used CMAR. It's been very helpful, and we are happy that this bill has been brought forward. Thank you.
Caller with the last three digits of 857. Please slowly spell and state your name for the record. You have 2 minutes and may begin.
Good morning, Chair Spearman, members of the committee. Chelsea Chow Duong, Chaunsey, last name Chau-Duong, on behalf of the Southern Nevada Water Authority. We would just like to say ditto as well, and thank Senator Brooks for bringing this bill forward. Thank you.
Caller with the last three digits of 613. Please slowly spell and state your name for the record. You have 2 minutes and may begin.
Good morning, Chair Spearman. Chris Kaluuya, CHRISCALUYA. I'm with the NCA and also Martin Harris Construction. I'd like to thank all of the participants who have brought out all of the positive attributes of the CMAR process. I have been involved with it since 2007. And I'd like to note that just on top of all of the other positive elements, the pre-qualification process of the CMAR system has brought a stronger safety record to all of the projects that we have been working on. We're able to vet the safety records of the subcontractors and the safety
recordable incident ratings have been less on all of our CMAR projects because we're allowed to go through and understand their qualifications. I want to thank Senator Brooks for bringing this forward, and I ask the committee to support SB 141. Thank you.
If you recently just joined us, we are in support of SB 141. To testify in support of SB 141, please press star 9 now to take your place in the queue. Caller with the last 3 digits of 735, please slowly spell and state your name for the record. You have 2 minutes and may begin. Caller with the last 3 digits of 735, please slowly spell and state your name for the record. You may begin.
Good morning. My name is Eileen Pastor, AILEENPASTOR, and I'm the Government Affairs Supervisor for the RTC of Southern Nevada. The RTC of Southern Nevada is in support of Senate Bill 141 because CMAR helps balance risk and fosters collaboration, and we thank the committee for hearing this bill. Thank you.
Caller with the last 3 digits of 116, please slowly spell and state your name for the record. You have 2 minutes and may begin.
Thank you, Chair Spearman and members of the committee. My name is Alexis Motorex, ALEXIS MOTAREX, representing the Nevada Chapter Associated General Contractors. We are here in support of SB 141 as introduced and with the amendment offered by Mr. Daly. We support for the reasons already stated and would like to thank Senator Brooks for bringing this forward.
Caller with the last 3 digits of 097, please slowly spell and state your name for the record. You have 2 minutes and may begin.
Madam Chair, members of the committee, Brad Keating, B-R-A-D, Keating, K-E-A-T-I-N-G, representing the Clark County School District, an organization that spends over $400 million every single year on construction projects throughout Southern Nevada. We appreciate Senator Brooks bringing this important legislation forward. As was stated, CMAR is an effective tool for school districts to use that helps maximize taxpayer resources and project efficiency. So we urge the committee's support of SB 141 so that we can continue using this contract delivery method for projects in the Clark County School District. Thank you.
Caller with the last 3 digits of 469. Please slowly spell and state your name for the record. You have 2 minutes and may begin.
Good morning, Chair Spearman. This is Andy Donahue calling with the Labor Employers Cooperation and Education Trust, ANDYDONAHUE, calling because this bill removes the sunset, making CMAR another project delivery option for entities to use. Even though not all projects will be CMAR, but in some cases allowing additional problem solving between contractors and owners to resolve complex issues is really helpful. Labor likes this delivery method as well because since the beginning, a higher number of qualified workers are used on CMAR projects than with traditional low-bid projects, and that makes sense for Nevada. Thank you, Andy, for the record.
Caller with the last 3 digits of 948. Please slowly spell and state your name for the record. You have 2 minutes and may begin.
Good morning, Chair Spearman and members of the committee. For the record, David Cherry, spelled D-A-V-I-D-C-H-E-R-R-Y. I'm Government Affairs Manager for the City of Henderson. We support SB 141 and thank Senator Brooks for bringing forward this valuable legislation. In our experience, CMAR provides flexibility in project delivery methods and serves as a very good tool for project planning, development, and cost control. Removing the sunset will ensure we have the ability to continue using CMAR for future projects that are important to our community and will help the city continue to be a thoughtful steward of our financial resources. Thank you.
Broadcast, we're down to about 5. Good. Okay, I was just going to tell you we're down to about 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Okay, so no more callers on support?
Correct, Chair.
Okay, so we'll move now to those who are in opposition. Same thing, 30 minutes and 3 minutes per person.
To testify in opposition of SB 141, please press star 9 now to take your place in the queue. Again, to testify in opposition of SB 141, please press star 9 now to take your place in the queue. Chair, you have no callers in opposition at this time.
Thank you. We'll move to neutral. Same thing, 30 minutes, 3 minutes per person.
To testify neutral on SB 141, please press star 9 now to take your place in the queue. Caller with the last 3 digits of 534, please slowly spell and state your name for the record. You have 3 minutes and may begin.
Yeah, my name is Richard, Madam Chairman, Senator Brooks, everyone else. Richard Daly, RICHARDDALY. You guys can call me Skip. I'm neutral on the CMAR portion extension. A lot of history there, but as you can see, there's general consensus in the industry, so neutral on the bill. In regard to the amendment and support of the amendment, and wanted to just maybe give a little bit of explanation on why it's needed and where the genesis of that came from. So it was originally added in, I believe, AB 283 in 2013. That was a bill that I sponsored and shepherded through. And the definitions were needed because there is a requirement in CMAR on horizontal construction for 25% of that work to be self-performed by the contractor, and there is no self-perform level on vertical construction. So we needed definition to identify and switch on when that would be applicable and when it was not. And then, as Senator Brooks said, that provision was part of the sunset and would have been removed because if CMAR didn't exist, we wouldn't meet those definitions. Now that CMAR is going to be extended, the provision that would have removed those 2 definitions is also now being repealed in this bill. So the definitions will stay, and the changes in the definition are needed to clarify for a couple of reasons. Because we've had some issues and questions over, can, for instance, CMAR be used on strictly a demolition project or strictly a renovation? Because the definition now says for a fixed work. And there was a necessary need for clarification there, and that also applied because when Senator Brooks put in SB 207 last session, the LCB went to those 2 definitions and used that on the 3% and the 10% on the threshold amount of apprenticeship utilization that needed to be done. So these definitions will be beneficial for that portion as well and clarification. So anyway, just wanted to give that explanation, Madam Chair, members of the committee. The bill sounds like it's got a lot of support in moving forward, and the amendment is meant to make it clearer for the utilization of both apprentices and the utilization of construction manager at risk in the industry. That's all I have. Appreciate your time. Thank you.
To testify neutral on SB 141, please press star 9 now to take your place in the queue. Chair, you have no more callers neutral at this time.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Senator Brooks, do you have any closing comments? Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Let me ask the committee. Do you all have any? Oh, boy, I shouldn't have done that. Senator Pickett's words have a magnet. Every time I mention questions, the magnet goes right to hands. Okay, Senator Pickett. Come on.
Madam Chair. I just wanted to follow up on something that Skip Daly mentioned as to apprenticeships. I hadn't contemplated that in this, but is that in any way going to change the cost structure of these projects by increasing the number of specified apprenticeships? How does that interact with the CMAR? I don't remember that being, I mean, that was never an issue in any of my projects, but I don't know how it affects things today.
Senator Pickard, that was my bill last session, Senate Bill 207, and it created a, on public works projects only, a certain percentage of workers needed to be apprentices. Generally, apprentices are a lower cost worker, but we in light of the need of creating some continuity of the construction industry and to create opportunities for apprenticeship programs, we put in that percentage necessary for apprentices. This, as Mr. Daly referenced, that points back to all kinds of statutes around governing all the statutes governing public works projects. And so this definition in the proposed amendment would just be one of those other things in 338 that the apprenticeship program points back to. So I would have to say my experience with construction has been that the more apprentices you have on the project, the lower the labor cost is, and therefore the lower the delivery.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. I mean, I'm not sure I would, when we had more apprentices on our projects, it usually meant for more rework too. So it was a trade-off. I just was curious to see if under the current CMAR projects, if apprenticeships had met those prior standards, is this going to affect cost in any way? But I appreciate that. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. I don't see any other hands. Senator Brooks, closing comments?
I would just like to thank you, Chair Spearman, and thank the committee for their and for giving us such a thorough hearing, and appreciate all your time.
Thank you. Job well done, getting everybody on your side. I haven't heard that many affirmations since last summer when the major parties had their nominating committee. So congratulations. You're running for something. I don't know what it is, but anyway, you got a lot of people behind you. Okay, thanks a lot. And with that, we will close the hearing on Senate Bill 144. And I'd like to open it up now to public comment. Public comment, if you are wanting to make a statement, please follow the directions of broadcast. And we'll open that up now.
Thank you, Chair. To speak in public comment, please press *9 now to take your place in the queue. Chair, you have no callers in public comment at this time.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Madam Chair?
And yes, I just got a text that Senator Settlemeyer, you had a question. I didn't see your hand. I'm sorry.
No problem, Madam Chair. I was just curious, since deadlines are coming up and things are getting a little bit busy around here, if you'd accept the motion to amend due pass.
We will do that at a later date. I don't want to hear and do a work session on a bill because there are other things that may come up. So it will be work session, but not today.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Any other questions, committee members? Seeing none, well, we will adjourn this meeting and we will see you on Friday morning. So thank you and have a great day. We are now adjourned.